Well, your discography is amazing. I mean, obviously Weezer, Green Day, you have a long-standing relationship with some of our friends, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, so many great bands. Like, whose process surprised you the most in working with them?
You know, the beauty of coming up a Gen Xer and recording on tape back in the day, pre-technology really, pre-digital age for sure, just having to learn the rope and change with the times and adapt and learn. I'm always learning from people. I'm always learning new recording techniques and new ways to go about writing songs and things like that. So I worked with all these. So I had 10, 15 years on a lot of these kids at the time. They were kids, literally, you know, Panic and Fall Out Boy and all of them. I would get in the studio with them and I would realize quickly what was the most important thing to them. And it wouldn't always be what I aligned with as far as what would be. You can get caught up in being very myopic as like, we're going to spend all day getting a drum sound and it's going to be incredible. Is there a song though? Got to really go out here.
Yeah.
And I realized that a lot of the kids I worked with, they had a bigger picture because they had a lot of these tools at their disposal and were able to make demos on computers now that sounded like mastered records. And so that mystery was gone. What was the mystery now was like, how do we make this the best song it can be? And that was a great thing a lesson to be learning at this stage in my career. That, you know, they were caring about songs, sometimes more than they're playing. And that's something that I didn't grow up with because on tape, it was shit in, shit out.
Right.
If it sucked going in, it's going to suck coming out.
Yeah.
So you had to be insanely good players.
Or look at Zeppelin, right?
Right. And all those records were made live. So they're just playing a live show. You know, when I started working with a lot of younger acts, it was more like piecing it together because they were used to coming up on computers. So it'd be like, oh, well, we're going to combine and edit this all together and it's going to make this big, beautiful mess and tune vocals and blah, blah, blah. So I tried to always come in with my old school ethics of recording, of making these guys work harder at being better musicians. And being a songwriter, I appreciated that. And I appreciated that their end result, they didn't care how they got there or who played it or who sang it even sometimes. It was just getting it there.
Yeah.
And to me, that was beautiful. Like I remember in the 80s, you know, listening to Bon Jovi records and thinking, how the fuck are they going to sing that live when they go to that 3-step, 4-step modulation? Why halfway there? You know, I was like, how's he going to be able to do that live? And then eventually, you know, I become friends and learn how to write songs from Desmond Child, who co-wrote that song.
Right.
And he's the one in the studio telling them, take it up at the end. I don't care if you can't sing it. It doesn't fucking matter. He's like, everybody on the radio is going to be singing it.
Now they're not so happy they did that.
Right. He's like, that's going to change someone's life when it gets to that point.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was right.